The January transfer window is in full swing and Crystal Palace have their first signing through the door in Romain Esse. With a few weeks left of the window, there's still some really big updates and transfer rumours around incomings and also outgoings. There's updates on known targets and there's also news on a new transfer target that Palace have set our sights on. Welcome back to Luke Talks Palace, where today I'm chatting about all the latest Crystal Palace news and one signing who is already through the door. As always, if you're new around here and if you enjoy the content, please feel free to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube or follow if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Like and comment on the video. Let me know what signings you want Palace to make. Let me know how you think Palace's transfer window has gone so far. And let's also celebrate Crystal Palace's win over West Ham. So let's dive into the video and discuss all the latest news around the January transfer window and Crystal Palace. Obviously, Romain Esse finally signing is great news, with Glasner being really honest in his press conference and saying we need to give him time, which is great to hear as Esse has so much potential, but he is only 19. I said it before, we need to remember not every player is Michael Olise. If you want some in-depth analysis on the signing, then please go watch my last transfer video as I shared why he is such a good signing for Crystal Palace. Glasner also said he wished that Esse came through the door earlier, which was really, really good to hear. You kind of just want that manager to be very, very, outgoing, outspoken and honest. And that's what Glasner was. He wanted to sign in earlier. And that's something we don't really do at Palace. Maybe we'll see that more in the future. Obviously, the big news at the start of this week was the fact that Trevoh Chalobah was recalled by Chelsea. Hilarious. Obviously, loans can be recalled, and we do get that as Palace fans. We were not annoyed that he got recalled because he got recalled. It was more due to the fact that Chalobah got banned from the Chelsea facilities at the start of the season in August and also got his number stripped off him by Chelsea as Maresca didn't rate him. The fact that they did this and Maresca has come out after in his press conferences this week saying we all knew that he left earlier this season because of financial fair play is hilarious. Was financial fair play the reason he was barred from using the first team training facilities as well? No. Basically, what you've done here is you've gone to us, you want Gay or you want Chalobah, and you've basically gone, we'll take one of them, and you've gone for Chalobah because it's the easy option. I think Chalobah will play a bit for Chelsea, but long term, there's already reports suggesting he will be sold in the summer, which is hilarious. I just think he's been so mistreated by Chelsea. He was enjoying his time at Palace. He'll enjoy his time at Chelsea when he's playing. It would be really, really interesting to see how he does. Some Palace fans want us to sign Chalobah permanently. However, that looks impossible at this current time. The latest transfer update on Chalobah is that Chelsea want a stunning 40 million for the centre-half after recalling him from Crystal Palace. Palace are obviously unwilling to meet this figure, and they're also unwilling to pay Chalobah's wages, which are close to 7 million a year. It'd be a really expensive transfer for us. And who do Chelsea think they are asking for 40 million for Chalobah? This is bearing in mind that they only think Gay's valued at around 40 to 50 million. Ridiculous comments, ridiculous reports. And for now, sadly, we're going to have to steer clear of Chalobah. It'll be really interesting because we're going to be linked to him for years now. It'd be Gallagher all over again with this type of signing. But Palace have proven in the transfer windows they can find bargains, and there are good bargain centre-backs out there who will be the same quality as Chalobah or possibly even better. So I think it's definitely one to steer clear of at the moment. That is why you never fall in love with a loan signing. It'll be really interesting. I really enjoyed him at Palace, but it's time to move on. Over the week as well, Odsonne Edouard has been linked with a permanent move away. The striker, who doesn't even make the bench at Leicester this season whilst on loan, was apparently the subject of a 15 mil bid from Atlanta United in the MLS. However, that move seems to have stalled, with the MLS club also wanting Latlafe from Middlesbrough. So they've bidded 16 mil for Latlafe, and they bidded 15 mil for Edouard. I think both bids have been accepted, and I think they'll go with the Borough striker. That is so annoying. We have to try and get this signing completed. Edouard is a really good poacher, a really good finisher, but sadly he has not been able to be consistent enough, and 15 mil would be a great amount of money to use elsewhere for us. It's just sad it didn't work. Move on again, similar to the Chalobah situation, but for very, very different reasons. Now, everyone knows we've been wanting to sign versatile left wing back Hadji Diouf. My God, that has taken me so many takes, by the way. He currently plays for Slavia Prague, and we have had a bid rejected for him. It then went quiet, but now there's a very, very positive update about the player. It's being reported that Crystal Palace will now make a new move for the Senegalese left back, and it's a really exciting move. We're going to bid around 15 million for him. Palace went to Spain last week. I think it was Dougie Freeman who went to Spain last week to watch Diouf in a training match. And Dougie's also gone there to try and accelerate this transfer, which is really good to hear. This is great news, and hopefully we have a big update by the end of this week or next week. You would think we need our bid to be accepted by next week in order for everything to go through before deadline day. We all want him, and I feel he's going to be class. I really do. Really exciting future. Really, really good player. Really fast, really rapid. Attacks, defends. And I'm going to bring up some stats now to share why he would be such a good signing for us. Let's remember when I'm talking about these stats that he's only 20 years old. Now, I'm going to let you look at these stats to the left, but I'm also going to talk about them. It says he's 19 there. It's because at the time I took the picture, he was 19. He has only recently turned 20. So he's really young, basically. Some of the other stats that aren't here right now that I'll read out to you first that I've also checked. He's 90th percentile for progressive passes, 87th percentile for progressive carries, 84th percentile for expected assists, and 80th percentile for defensive duels. If you don't know what that means, that basically means he's really, really good at them stats specifically. Right, here are his stats for Czech league fullbacks, which you can see to your left. Dribbles, first. Goals, first. Attacking actions, first. Crosses, first. Through passes, first. Progressive runs, second. Offensive duels, second. Crosses, second. Passes, second. Passes to penalty area, second. He is basically the attacking fullback that we have been crying out for. But I just want to do a disclaimer. Mitchell has still been good enough for us this season, but this is the future. We need to look at these players. Mitchell's in his mid-20s now, so we need to be looking at the future players as well. Not only does Diouf provide us cover, but he also provides us with a future Mitchell long-term replacement, which is really, really good to see. So let's talk about them stats a little bit. Basically, attacking wise, he is brilliant. And yes, I know you're all going to tell me this is just the Czech league, but for a young kid basically to be doing this in the Czech league, beating all his oppositions in that area of the pitch, both sides, not just left fullback, right fullback as well, is generally ridiculous. And that's exactly what you need in a Glasner formation. And a fullback who is so attacking. We see it with Muñoz more than Mitchell because Muñoz does have the attacking traits, whilst Mitchell has more of the defensive traits. But Diouf seems to have the attacking traits as well. And you saw when Palace beat West Ham on the weekend, for Mateta's first goal, literally, who were the two players in support of Mateta? Mitchell and Muñoz. So Glasner loves his fullbacks to be so attacking. And that's why Diouf is such an interesting aspect for Crystal Palace and why we want him so bad. The fact that he can also dribble as well is really good. The fact he loves to cross is really good. The fact that his passes are really progressive, so good. If you have him and Mitchell, you've got the perfect two players. They kind of complement each other massively in terms of you can use players for different scenarios. That's what football is these days. It's not an 11-man game. It's a 25-man game. Palace have been crying out for squad depth, and Diouf gives it to us. Diouf also has more goals, more crosses to box, and more passes to penalty areas per 90 than any under 21 fullback or wingback in the world this season. In the world. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. He is basically showing signs that he has top potential. And under a manager like Glasner, who's getting the best out of Mateta, he's getting the best out of our defenders, he's getting the best out of Hughes, he's going to meet that potential easily. We need to make sure we get this signing through as he has a bright future. And it is no shock to see Liverpool also linked with a move for him. A small academy update around this transfer is the fact that if Palace do get Diouf, then they will loan out Irish prospect Franco Ume, who is wanted in Scotland by St Mirren. That would be a really good move for Ume. He's a really exciting player. Again, another one who has top potential. But he needs senior football to not stunt his growth and to fulfill his potential. So a move ASAP for him would be really good. A low move, definitely. Something really interesting around this is the fact that Palace also have a backup transfer target in case we struggle to get Diouf. Now, you remember in the summer, we wanted Sessegnon. We didn't get him. We didn't have a backup. It looks like we've learned from that, which is really good to see, even though we all definitely want Diouf. So the new transfer update is that Palace have also checked in on Rennes skipper Adrien Truffert. I think I've got that right. He's another left wing back, but Diouf is obviously preferred. For those who do not know, Truffert is 23 and he has made his debut for France back in 2022. He has already made 175 appearances for Stade Rennes in Ligue 1. Truffert has 8 goals and 21 assists at the French club. This season, he is averaging 3.9 ball recoveries per game, 1.7 tackles per game, and that's his defensive stats. The other defensive stats aren't really that great, if I'm being honest. Whilst offensively, he is averaging just under a shot per game, 0.2 key passes a game, and his expected assist is only 0.84. He is definitely a good player, but he doesn't really feel like an upgrade on Mitchell, and because he's 23, he doesn't really seem like a future replacement for Mitchell either. Mitchell is having a good season despite what some may think, and signing someone like Diouf would be so much better, as he is someone who is young, doesn't need to start every game, but in the future he can become a key player for Palace. With someone like Trevoh, he's a key player in Ligue 1. He's going to be expecting to start, you'd think. So I don't really like this transfer news. I don't like this transfer update. I think you need kind of like the starting left wing back and then that future replacement who can also play at Premier League level already. And I think Diouf can. In other news, it looks like a move for Doak is definitely off, and it may be something we go back for in the summer, whilst Glasner's latest comments suggest we will make 2 signings this window. So it's likely that Esse and Diouf will be the 2 signings. Adam Wharton, I know this isn't a transfer update, but Adam Wharton is close to returning from injury. Our squad is winning, and we are adding some good depth to the squad. Let's back the manager who is building something special. The record at the moment is really good. 7 away matches undefeated. That is a club record. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Anyways, let me know if you enjoyed this transfer video. You guys loved the last one, which is getting over 2,500 views currently. I really appreciate that support. It's been really great hearing your comments, hearing your feedback. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's really, really appreciated as I try to get to 500 subscribers. If you're listening on Spotify, any follows or 5-star reviews are also massively appreciated. That has been all for today. Comment how much you would like to see Diouf at the club. I will see you later at the Palace.